Hey everybody, I'm Scott.
And I'm Brian.
And we're gonna smoke some turkeys. Okay, so we got our two birds here. This turkey's been dry brined, which means it's been rubbed with spice rub of salt and pepper and onion powder and garlic powder, a bunch of other stuff.
This one here is a wet brined bird. It's a 15-pound turkey. Since we're using a PK360, we can accommodate a little bigger bird here. And this one's been marinated in veggie stock and kosher salt. Let's see what this bad boy looks like.
Yeah, get it out of there.
All right. And now just to finish it off before we put it on the grill, we're gonna hit it with a little butter. I'm gonna inject it in some key spots in the breast and the thighs. The last thing we're gonna do is put the oil on it, and that'll help keep it moist while it's slow cooking and also make it extra crispy and brown when we're done.
All right, so now that Brian's finally finished prepping his bird, we can go outside and put him on the barbecue grills. I'm gonna cook today on my trusty original PK. I'm gonna be using charcoal briquettes, the square pieces of charcoal that you buy at your grocery store.
So I'm gonna be cooking today on our new graphite PK360. Just launched this grill last month and we're really excited about the way it turned out. I'm gonna be using lump charcoal. Scott mentioned he's using briquettes. Either will work great on your PK. One of the reasons I like using lump on a really long cook is the lump ash is a lot less than briquettes, so you don't have to worry about ash getting in the way of your airflow. The PK360 is just a much bigger grill. It's got about a 60% bigger cooking chamber. It takes a little more coal to keep that thing hot. The other thing is I always like to start, even when I'm cooking at a low temperature, I like to use a lot of coal and then I'll control the heat with my airflow. I just want to get about half to maybe 2/3 of my coals going good and hot. These coals on top, it won't be quite as hot as we're slow cooking. This will kind of set up a second stage burn with these coals and hopefully will elongate the cook so that I don't have to add much coal during this process.
I'm just gonna pour about 2 inches of water into this pan. That'll raise the humidity level in the capsule when it cooks, and it'll also give a place for the drippings to go from the bird. If they just hit an empty pan, they'll burn and smoke. If you take a look inside my grill here, you'll see that I've got a line of coals set up right here and I've got an open space. I'm gonna dump my hot coals into this open space, and these unlit coals are gonna light over time, which should give me a longer cook before I have to refuel. I'm gonna drop a chunk of hickory and a chunk of cherry wood kind of out here on the edges. Give me some smoke flavor.
Put my water pan in there, keep it moist and catch some drippings. Get some water in there.
We've got our vent set here, which is under our hot coals. It's open just a smidge, maybe a ½ inch or less. This vent over here, which is under our turkey, actually it's under our water pan, is closed completely. So all of our air is coming in on this side under the coals. We've got this vent, which is over the fire, closed completely. This vent, which is over our bird, open just a smidge. So we're drawing all of that hot air and aromatic smoke across the chamber so that it can exit here. This is really where the PK grill capsule shines the most. This capsule shape allows us to move our heat over here, keep our protein over here, and create, a really nice indirect smoking situation. You can cook like this for a long time.
When I'm smoking a turkey, this is a typical indirect setup that we use all the time in a PK grill. The way we do that is just taking advantage of the 4-point venting system. So you got 2 vents on the top, 2 vents on the bottom. We're gonna close down the vent here below the food. We have this vent right here underneath the coals. We're gonna have it about halfway open to start. Shut down this vent that is above the coals and then leave this one open above the meat. What that's going to do is just direct the heat and the smoke up from the coals across the turkey and out the top here.
The turkey is really lean. There's not a lot of fat in there. You're not trying to break down connective tissue or render fat out of a turkey for the most part. You really just want the meat to get done. You want the skin to be crisp. So if your grill fluctuates, between 250 or 300 degrees or between 225 and 300 or whatever it might be, don't worry about it. It's as long as you get your bird to the proper end temperature, you're going to be okay. You're going to have a great tasting turkey.
Last thing I need to do here is I want to add some wood chunks. So I'm going to take one of these cherry and one hickory, We just throw it right into the fire. Combination of those flavors is great for a turkey. And we'll shut this thing down and get it cooking.
So we put these on about 20 minutes ago.
Yep.
I'm sitting right now at about 315. That's a little bit hotter than I want to be. So I'm just gonna pinch this down a smidge and close this off just a little bit, and that'll probably dial it in right where I want it. I'll check it again in another 20 minutes, and then I should be set and ready to go.
This thing's looking great over here. We're sitting at about 260. I opened the top vent up all the way. I've got the bottom intake vent about halfway open.
So I guess the hard work's done. We can grab a few beers and check back in a couple hours, maybe add some smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go waste some time.
Sweet. Turkey's been in here now for almost 2 hours. I want to check it. I want to add some smoke. I want to probably turn it. Oh, wow, look at that bird. So here's where our kind of big scallop tongs come in handy. When you're moving a big piece of meat like this, you just kind of pick it up, and I'm going to turn it. I'm going to put this temp probe in so that I can start to track the internal temperature of this bird. And I'm right for this probe, I'm going to be looking center of the breast here, so right about there feels good to me. And then I'm gonna baste this guy with some melted butter.
This thing's coming along just right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna open her up. Oh yeah, it doesn't take long to get that dark smoke color on the outside. Bird's looking good, so I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to do what you did, Scott. I'm going to just flip it around. It's not a have to, but just kind of an extra step to make sure we're cooking it evenly while it's on here. And I'm going to add a little more wood. It's been 2 hours, so our smoke's really burned off. And use this thermometer, get it deep down inside of the breast, right on track, maybe even a little ahead of where I thought we would be right now. So we're going to baste this guy with a little bit of butter. We've established that butter is the nectar of the gods. Keep this guy juicy. He's getting pretty brown. I'm looking for, in the breast, high 150s, 157, 158.
Yep.
We know that when we take it off, its temperature's going to raise up a little bit. Once I hit that high 150s in the breast, we're probably going to be looking at high 170s, 180 down there in the thigh and in the legs.
That's really kind of the key on the turkey, right? Is just make sure your internal temperature is right. So pulling at the right temperature is probably the most important aspect of cooking a turkey. Okay. See, so this bird really is ready to come off. Okay, we just need to let that rest for a little bit.
All right, man, that's looking great. Oh yeah. So we got this thing right where we want it. High 150s, 160 in various parts of the breast. We're around 180 in the thighs. So this is really right where we wanted it. PK did the job.
This is our 12-pound dry brined turkey that we cooked on the original PK over briquettes. Took about 4 hours to do that cook. We did 1 refuel. The bird is a beautiful color. I know you can't smell it, but trust me.
That looks and smells fantastic.
It's really, really good. Turned out really good.
Turned out very, very good. Here's our 15-pound turkey we cooked on the PK360. Cooked this guy for just about 5 hours, so a little longer than the smaller bird. Really just came out just like we wanted it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good stuff. What I think is most important out of this is people understand this is really easy to do. This is an easy way to cook a turkey. It tastes better than cooking it inside, and it's a fun process too.
And you can do it a lot of different ways.
Yeah, absolutely.